Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Hello.
We're back. It's been a little while. I took kind of a little week or so off, kind of beginning of the summer, kind of transition here. But we are all caught up and we are ready to finish off this season of The Amazing Race. This is, as you can see in the title, a retro review of The Amazing Race. Season 1, we are here for leg 11. So something I have been asking for all season came true, Bry. We got a foot race. We got a good old fashioned race in The Amazing Race. We had two teams, Kevin and Drew and Team Guido, basically the entire leg, but even in the end, really coming down to some head to head racing, whether it be on the rickshaws or in their shopping orders or just even to get dropped off there, like you said, there at the end, and the unfortunate demise of one of the teams, which we'll get to in a minute. But overall, Bry, what was your impressions of the episode of this leg?
It was like a biathlon because like they were in a car, they were on foot. Like I wish they swam, but or flying if they did take a fly, but it was never like that close to. But I enjoyed this. I thought the challenges in this were really cool, and this is like especially the market one, which I think like I've said we've said this before. Ones where they like do the culture, I think are really cool, and like that type of market, I'm sure is like chaos, and like if they didn't have an interpreter, they could probably still be there.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna kind of get me and you and I actually had kind of two different interpretations of the end there. We'll kind of lead with that, and then there were some more fun things like some of the roadblocks, including a possible hustler situation that we will get to. But let's not bury the lead like we never do. We did mention the foot race between Kevin and Drew and Team Guido throughout the final leg. The lawyers and Frank and Margarita were kind of comfortably ahead, so we really aren't going to focus on them really this leg. But the editing was great. I really didn't know which way it was going to go. Like you kind of mentioned there at the end, there was the rickshaw kind of cab driver with and the interpreter kind of situation. And Kevin and Drew looks like at least how they edited it. They arrived at the checkpoint location first. However, they didn't find the correct leg. I mean, the gate, I believe it was the South Gate. Team Guido then came after completing that eating challenge after and coming in a little behind them. Seems like they walked right in and boom, hit it. And so Kevin and Drew were eliminated, the last team eliminated before the final leg finale. Bry, how did you feel like that kind of went down for them? What do you think happened, at least from your interpretation of it, and just kind of your thoughts on Kevin and Drew in the end?
I kind of think they got impatient in the cab and left early. That was the way I interpreted it.
Okay.
Because they both teams seem to be having trouble with their cab driver. Like, do you know where this is? Do you know where this is? And he'd just be like, oh. And it's like, I think they needed to stay the course. And I think the Guidos did that. And I think we'll find out later in the future with this person, but if they stayed in the cab, I think they would have gotten to the destination, because if you get that park, we don't know how big that park is. They could have been just making a right turn, but they could have gotten out in a gate, and it just like getting to where they need to be could be like amazing there. It's a park.
Yeah. We don't even know if there's only two gates or there are four gates. I interpreted it as that they were just the least lucky with their cab driver and they got dropped at the not correct gate. And it seems like the Guidos did. Maybe they were a lot closer than the editing made it seem. Like they were very like, maybe it was within minutes or, that's again, something that's how I interpreted it. But overall, again, Kevin and Drew ran a good race. They had their kind of like banter back and forth, kind of like we've seen the entire season. Didn't really seem to really get in their way though. Like some of the other teams we've seen, like their arguments literally led to them getting eliminated. You said maybe if anything, it was impatience, but again, I wasn't really tired of them or anything like that. Like I was of some other teams when they were eliminated.
Because you can make fun of your friends.
Yeah.
Like when you start making like arguing with your wife or your husband, and it's like
such a bad
it starts to get too personal sometimes. And like you could see it even with Frank and Margarita, like as we go. And like what was the team that I hated? I don't even remember the name, but like they would argue all the time, and it's like cringe. And I don't know. I enjoyed them. I think I wonder, Bill. I wonder which of these if they do reunions, like
Paul and Amy is who you're talking about.
yeah, Paul and Amy. Like when if any of these teams came back for, I guess we'll find out when we do the reunion episode. But there's some good teams on here, and they always like.
I mean, Lenny and Karen broke up.
Man, it's awkward, and like
Like,
it's just.
and I'm not trying to laugh. Again, we haven't, just remember everyone, we haven't looked into anything that's like seen, so we don't know. Like, so
They could be happily
don't
married.
think I'm laughing if something really unfortunate has happened to someone and I'm laughing right now. Like, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. We're just letting you know.
Yeah, we mean it when we say like we don't look anything up. Like I'm dying to look shit up, and I just haven't.
I know we killed ourselves by taking the week off because we like literally had another week that we can't look things up. But we did watch both legs. We have seen the finale, so we will be able now after this recording to actually look things up and get that special epilogue episode up.
Right.
The one thing I do want to talk about before they were in Beijing, they were in China. It's a cool location, another globe trotting location, and we'll definitely go over the mileage during the finale of what they went through and said how far they traveled, how many countries. Really cool. That ping pong kid.
Yeah, I have to call some shadiness there.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, like he sucked the first match, and then he was great.
He killed the lawyers.
Yeah, and the lawyers
Killed him.
said they played ping pong.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I don't know. Did they tell him to go easy? There was something going on there. There's some shadow hand stuff going on with that kid.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. I'm not gonna say I hate a child, but I mean at this point that kid's like our age, so he might be older than us. So
yeah,
I don't know.
real quick, at the market,
Yeah,
was the only thing that you would have had trouble eating was a larvae? Because I love squid.
no,
Like,
for some reason I don't feel like any of those ones really bother me too much.
yeah,
A lot
I
of
think
times
that'd
it's
be
like
fun.
on the challenge, it's the ones that are like the blood drips.
Yeah, it's
and
like
blended.
organs.
Yeah,
You're eating like huge, like balls and like, but
vomit.
I mean, bugs are they were some fat bugs, but that squid looked great. I've had a chicken foot before and it wasn't good. It was like all bone, like mini bones that you could eat, but I think the way these people prepared it, I'm sure it was a lot better.
Yeah,
They ate it like a wing. Like I ate it wrong. That's why I was at a party once. These people, a bunch of these, it was a Chinese house in our neighborhood. They just all made fun of me when I bit into the foot.
Did
So
it wrong.
Yeah, I did. You need to eat like a wing.
Chicken legs.
Yeah.
Amazing. Again, that's what I love. Again, we talk about the thing like the culture and all like that.
I think I like that.
This is like a great Amazing Race episode. You have actual cool cultural stops. You had an actual race. You had good editing, and you had a competitive ending. So we will be right back here in the same recording session to give you the recording for the finale. It was a 2-part finale. We're going to do it in one. We are excited to talk about the end result of the race and how it shook out with the final 3 teams. Brian, do you want to do the order, or are we just going to just
yeah, so it was
Frank and Margarita, right?
Frank and Margarita were one, then lawyers, and then Guidos. So it's not like we're burying the lead here.
The Guidos are very far behind, though.
Yeah, that was my only gripe with and Bill, from the season we just watched, did they correct that where it's like if you're don't they all leave within a certain, like they leave in tiers, remember?
They overcorrected it. I think when we see like the middle seasons, it's like a fair medium, but right now they are. What's confusing to me, and I'm going to get into that in the finale review, is how like there is no catch up in this, but we'll get to that. So
you have to go like 3. You're going like literally like 80% of the world in this next episode.
When we were going to get to that.
Wise.
Thank you for everyone who's always watching. We'll be back. There is a kind of a dull June, but we're already halfway through. We are going to have some preview specials of things like The Bachelorette, The Challenge, CBS. We are going to possibly do some coverage, maybe weekly, of the Big Brother series throughout the summer, just the stuff that gets going. We are sure we're probably going to get some kind of a more Netflix shows. And then we do know in the fall, obviously, we're going to have Bachelor in Paradise. We're going to have Survivor. We're going to have Amazing Race, but there's going to be plenty more stuff as the summer kind of rolls on. June just turned out to be a super lull, which, you know what? It's okay. We need a break every so often.
Mm-hmm.
Babies need time to catch up on their DVR.
I need sleep too.
It's true. works out. But check us for the finale and our epilogue episode here on the same playlist of the Reality Guys. But for until next time, for myself and Brian, thank you. Peace.